What's up, y'all? It is time for Yellowjackets episode 3. Knee-jerk reaction. This one, god dang it, Yellowjackets. Just when I thought we would maybe progress the story a little further, not only did we not even really do that outside of more character development, mainly in like the future, or present days, but we even got more mystery going on now. But again, I am fucking tangled in this show's web. All right. Let's just talk about this. This episode, whereas last one was mainly focused on Misty, is more of a Thaisa episode. And I gotta tell you, she's my least favorite of the girls, I'd say. And that goes for like younger or older. She's just kind of like, yeah. Well, let me say this. The younger ones that also has an adult character, she's my least favorite. But maybe this could provide some context and make me like her more. The younger version of Thaisa, for sure. The older version, I don't know. There's just something about her that just is like, it's her character. She comes off kind of bitchy, but and nagging and annoying. I don't know. I'm not nearly as impressed when she's on screen as the other girls. That's not to diss her. Like, that's really just like the role she's playing. It's not like it's bad acting. It's just something that's like off-putting. Somebody could be watching this video right now like, motherfucker, you're off-putting. I love Thaisa, and that's okay. We all have opinions. Opinions. Can I say opinions? I can't say opinions. I just pulled it off. But Thaisa, man, she has like 3 layers going on now because she's got like, present day. She's got the flashback with everybody, and then she's got like little kid with grandma, and there is some weird shit going on. This grandma's talking about an angel, and at the end of the episode there's even a part where the angel is like in the fucking mirror and it doesn't have eyes, and the grandma's like, no, don't take my eyes, and the angel figure looks pretty downright creepy. It's like this long-haired, you're gonna get a quick shot, long-haired thing with a mask, and it doesn't have eyes, but you don't know if that's just because the holes in the mask. It's very fucking weird, and they circle that back around at the end where Thais says a kid goes to her grandma's grave, and she opens the eyes, and oh shit, there's like no eyes there, so that means the angel got him. So that was intense, and that immediately connected to something at the very end that we will get to. Yeah, so that makes you wonder, is this real? Is this them seeing visions? Is this connected somehow to what happened to them in this plane crash? There's so many questions that are unanswered. God dang it, there's even more than what we started with. Fuck! The show, though, very good. We get Shauna's situation a little further drawn out in present day. The whole Shauna situation, where it was like, is she gonna cheat on her husband? Because it started to seem like maybe she'd do some shit like that, but then her husband was getting a text from a girl. Shauna, of course, like an idiot, follows him, and she's not slick at all. She's like at the stop sign behind him, just hiding her face, but all he has to do is look in the mirror and be like, that is our van. But she somehow does get away with it, ends up at the hotel, and her husband, goes walking off. He's got like a gift in his hand, and you're like, oh man, it's going down. And what do you know? The fucking mechanic is already at the hotel. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Because she's trying to get her husband's room number, making up some bullshit excuse. And the guy, the mechanic, comes in to like, help her out with the excuse. It's a good way for him to get in so, he can get in. And she's kind of just like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I was going to ask you the same thing. I come here for the drinks, blah, blah, blah. And after, they have a romantic dinner while Shauna's looking in the distance, waiting to see if she sees her husband. He's just like, yeah, like I said, the drinks. And then I don't know where she sees her husband with an attractive girl. And her and the guy at that point, she's just like, I'm going upstairs with this motherfucker. And it doesn't show any, sexual activity, but I'm pretty sure we can put 2 and 2 together and know what they did behind that door when they went inside of it. So Shauna has officially slept with someone else besides her husband, and I've got this sinking feeling that I had since last episode that her husband somehow actually did not sleep with this other girl. Like, I have a feeling there's going to be some type of tie in here where he didn't cheat at all and he can fucking prove it, and then Shauna's going to feel like a piece of shit, and that's going to cause a lot of friction, maybe even causing Shauna, to snap back into them like animal instincts that we've kind of seen at times throughout the show in present day that maybe she had to use back in the day. when she was, stranded with the other girls. Maybe she just lashes out and kills the fucking husband. Who knows, people? My brain is just being racked here. I'm trying to figure this out. I know y'all are too. And then back, where they're all stranded at. Other than just, wandering around, they found a lake, which, they were like super fucking stoked about. Van just went sprinting in there and was fucking swimming, having the time of her life. All the other girls were getting in. Like, it's cold as shit, but they didn't care. Because, it was like a moment of just like discovery and something that made them happy. Even though they've only been stranded for 3 days, like, they're starting to sink in. Like, we might be fucked here, people. They're trying to ration off food, but Trevor's over here, like, taking it. And then some people are like, fuck him. No, we should starve just because he has emotions. Other people are like, those emotions are because his dad died. So maybe you should be a little more understanding. And, you see both sides. You're like, fuck. And then you see Trevor's emotions, like his brother or whatever. He's just like, Dad died, and you need to take that gum out. It seems so simple, but when you're going through something so tragic, you can see how the brother would be like, no, I want to keep this because this was Dad who gave me this gum. It would help me with my ears popping. But you could also see like the older brother, like, you need to fucking accept this, so that little thing irks the shit out of him. So that was an interesting brothers quarrel in a way that was just like, what the fuck? Like, I can see both sides, but older brother, you're coming off as a dick right now, but also you're trying to make him tougher, and you're kind of hiding your own emotions. Like, fuck, I don't want to, every time I see you fucking biting on that, I think of Dad, damn it. So there's interesting things there for sure. With that, Jackie, dude, she's got poison ivy. We'll see if that turns into anything, because I could see this show, you just feel like the weirdness is coming. Watch the poison ivy turn into something else, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but have y'all seen Jackie around as, one of the older versions of these younger selves? Like, something tells me she might have been offed or stayed behind for some weird reason. So maybe this poison ivy has something to do with it. Shauna kind of makes up with Jackie here, and Jackie embraces her. It's like, we survived a plane crash. Like, we'll be all right. And then Misty is just still being, like, very helpful, but way too fucking touchy on the coach. And the coach is just losing it. He's got flies fucking going around his stump where his leg used to be, smacking him away. He's having a breakdown, and understandably so. And Misty's just not getting out of his face, so he basically slaps the bitch. Now, I don't promote hitting women, and I feel bad for Misty here, but damn, like, maybe this one time we'll give him a pass, because he's losing it. He's having a breakdown. He's not used to this kind of shit. He's in a very tense situation, and he's actually got it the worst. I mean, worse, because he's missing his fucking leg, dude. He's a coach. He's supposed to be an athletic guy. Missing your leg in general is bad, but missing your leg when you're like, this athletic guy that plays sports, and then also you're stranded on an island to die, and you have this annoying girl in your face 24/7 when you just want to be left alone because you're depressed. God, yeah, your anger might be on 11 right then, even if it's not completely justified to the person you're taking it out on. Misty and Natalie's characters, they were great again. I really am, and that's the two main people I'm fucking here for. I'm loving Shauna's character. She loved the actress, loved the way she's being portrayed, younger and older. But at the end of the fucking day, dude, like, the money shots that I'm here for is Juliette Lewis and Christina Ricci. And I gotta tell you, as long as this fucking duo is together, this show is in good hands. They have an oddball chemistry that seems like it shouldn't work, but because the actresses are so good, because we're so familiar with the actresses, and we're kind of happy just to kind of see them working together, I think. And, sometimes it's that opposites attract type of mentality, where one's kind of grungy and just like, deadpan, as, Misty says, and then Misty's all like upbeat and kind of quirky and weird in the other direction. It's actually very entertaining television watching them as a duo, trying to unravel everything and figure everything out. And, they're on the hunt for Trevor. And older Trevor, as they find after they spend a stint in jail, is dead. He's hanging. And all Natalie can say is, I don't know a lot of things, but I know Trevor didn't do this. Because apparently they also had a history where, they had a relationship and shit, and they're toxic for each other. But she knows him inside and out, and she knows this is a murder. And it's got every one of us thinking, okay, she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And there's still that background of where she knows what people are capable of, especially people in her circle that could still be in on some other crazy deranged shit for all we know, because we don't know shit. We have no idea what the fuck's going on anymore. Or ever did. Shouldn't say anymore. But we're trying to put it together, and we just don't have enough pieces yet. If you do, fill me in, because I don't. And, you know, and you see Misty, she pulls out, like, this note, and it says, like, I got this, you know, before we got locked up, and she turns on the fucking car light to read it. Natalie, that is, and she's sitting there like, oh, man, like, it says, Natalie, you're right. And Misty's like, what were you right about, Natalie? And she's like, I don't fucking know. So now we gotta need to know about what she's right about. And now we need to know who fucking killed Trevor. And then now we need to know who's this no-eyed bastard that's an angel that's trying to fucking kill Grandma. And that takes us back around to Thaisa, because it cuts at the very end to them being in this little, like, cabin they found. And she goes upstairs because she hears footsteps. And then the one girl, God, I'll remember all these names eventually, is upstairs. And she's, like, having... It's like three-way visions. She's like present day, and she steps on like a plastic eyeball, and she's like, fuck, what the fuck is that? And then she sees a, you know, ripped up, no-eyed doll in the middle of the fucking, you know, carpet downstairs. And then it cuts to her, you know, present day, or no, not present day. Yeah, we're in present day. So then it cuts to her, like, you know, the farthest away vision when she was a little kid. And that's when she sees her grandma doesn't have eyeballs. And then it also cuts to her when they're stranded. And when they're stranded, she sees the one girl in the attic. Fuck you, what's your name? And she turns around, and there's a dead body in a chair. And that's kind of intense for her. And it just is like, I mean, I know what it is, you know, on just like present, like, oh, that's a ripped up doll with its eyes missing. That's a grandma. Oh, it might have been the thing, or is she just seeing this that wanted to take her eyes? The angel she talked about. Oh, and that's the dead body of someone who lived here. But something correlates here, right? Something does. I don't know, people. I still don't know what's happening. Am I an idiot? Am I missing it that hard? For me, this show started me off just wanting answers with shit, and I couldn't wait to get them, and now I just have more questions. Yet, and still, it's not in a frustrating way. This is still awesome, and I love the way it's got my brain just, you know, I'm just racking through it, just trying to piece it all together and figure it out, and I like that they're adding more questions. As long as it's not boring, as long as it's not too convoluted where you're like, you feel like you'll never get answers. Like, well, how do they even tie this up? Like, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. And then you almost are like, I don't even know if I'm going to stick around for this, because I don't see them being able to. Or maybe you do, because on the off chance that they do fucking pull it off, but you have that trepidation that makes you not as interested going into the next episode. There's none of that, because you're just like, this will tie up. I have faith. We're just getting started. And right now, it's just laying that heavy plot of interest, people, and they're fucking reeling me in. So, what did y'all think about episode 3 of Yellowjackets? I loved it. I give it a 8.3 out of 10. Peace.